Hello and welcome to this incredibly important NPL Victoria clash here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex between the Bentleigh Greens and the Melbourne Knights. It's second v fourth in NPL Victoria. Should be a fascinating contest this evening. The Knights fresh off a crunch FFA Cup win against South Melbourne 4-2 midweek, and they make a couple of changes to their starting 11 off the back. The visitors with Mohamed Awad and Nikola Jurkovic dropping out of the squad. Jordan Gifkins starts between the sticks with Harry Chakaroon still recovering from that broken finger. The back four comprising of Nick Glavin, Aidan Bryce, Joseph Franjic and Corey Sewell. Anthony Zuzel and Calvin Whitney start in the midfield with Jan Albano and Caleb Mikulic on the flanks. Attila Offley supports Hamish Watson up front. Watson fresh from a hat-trick against South Melbourne. For the home side, John Gabrielson has persisted with nearly the same starting 11 from last week, making only one change, with Ryan Scott starting between the sticks, Jacob Alexander, Jack Webster, Marko Jankovic and James Ixidias making up the back four. A midfield three of Mario Ilic, Tyson Holmes and George Lambadaridis, with Futa Nakamura, Matt Thurtell and Western Australian Daniel Steins making his Bentleigh Greens debut at the expense of Velibor Mitrovic, who drops to the bench. On the bench for the home side, Michael Stark is the backup goalkeeper with Matty Crooks, Charlie Fry and Josh Beaker joining Velibor Mitrovic. On the bench for the Knights is Thomas Scoff, Ivan Grigic, AJ Inya, Felipe Sanchez and Lachlan Campbell. Felipe Sanchez, very highly rated youngster from the under-20 side, promoted to the matchday squad today. We'll be excited to see that much vaunted talent get a run in the second half. Just about ready to kick off here at Kingston Heath. The visitors in the white, kicking from right to left. The Bentleigh Greens, of course, in their green home strip. And we are off. Joseph Franjic at centre-back today, the captain for the Melbourne Knights. And there's high pressure early on from Nakamura. Sewell under pressure, he gives it up. Difficult one to control. Glavan in with the tackle. Duzel will calm things down. Giselle looking for Albano. Albano battling with Marko Jankovic. He's found Holmes and then Ilic. Greens wanted a free kick, not paid. Knights have a chance to cross one in, can't beat the first man. That one's gone out of play. Offley trying to play a close 1-2 with his midfield, but didn't come off, and long diagonal from the Bentleigh Greens. Corey Sewell will see that one out for a throw-in. Sewell. Turned it over, here's Nakamura. Zidias trying to get the ball in the box. Way by the Knights. Appeal for a high foot, not paid. Here's Lambadaridis. Ilic. New signing in the transfer window, Mario Ilic, slotted straight into the starting 11 ever since he arrived in that holding midfield role, with Tyson Holmes able to push a little bit higher up the park. Here's Jack Webster. Ilic so often dropping in between the centre-backs to begin the playing out from the back. Ixidias. Nakamura. Pressure on his touch. The Knights will take it away on the counter-attack. Doesn't quite come off, but Calvin Whitney showing the speed at which the Knights can transition there. Ixidias. Matt Thurtell dropping off the front line, the number 18. Absolute goal machine at this level since he's moved from the Queensland NPL. Appeal for a free kick from Jacob Alexander, but referee says shoulder to shoulder, and we'll have a goal kick for the Knights. Jordan Gifkins was given quite the baptism of fire on Wednesday night, coming up in his first game for the season against South Melbourne in the FFA Cup, but acquitted himself well. Gifkins to take the goal kick long. Long from Franjic. Webster should deal with it. Anywhere will do from Marko Jankovic. Franjic sees it out, and Nick Glavan will take the throw-in. Glavan replacing Nikola Jurkovic at right back from the team on Wednesday night. Nakamura finds Holmes, trying to find Nakamura again. The idea was there. Didn't quite connect those two, but Futa Nakamura, one of 5 acquisitions in the mid-season transfer window for the Bentleigh Greens. Gifkins again with the goal kick. Ivan Grigic, the scorer of the sealer on Wednesday night, that header from the corner. Might have been deflected, but he was happy to claim it. He's on the bench today as Marijan Cvitkovic retools his starting 11 after that particularly intense encounter. Jankovic finds Holmes between the lines. Holmes is able to turn. Important intervention from Aidan Bryce, but still a Bentleigh Greens attack through Nakamura. Holmes. Again, good pressure from Aidan Bryce. Lambatarides. Exidias. Webster. Recently celebrated 200 games in NPL, a real stalwart of this division. Jack Webster, that is, the captain for the Bentleigh Greens. Checks back to Exidias. Looking for Jankovic. Lambatarides. Lambatarides presenting for Exidias. But again, they have to check backwards and sideways. The Knights presenting a stern defensive block in front of their own box. Certain to be under pressure with the quick turnaround. Exidias. Webster. Lambatarides. Ilic assessing his options. The coach has changed mid-season for both sides. John Anastasiadis from the Bentleigh Greens taking up a new position as one of the assistant coaches at Western United, the new A-League franchise, entering the league next season under Mark Ridan. John Gabrielson is taking up the reins, his former assistant. Principles remain the same from one of the most successful teams in NPL, and that's a free kick given away by Franjic in a dangerous area. Opportunity for perhaps Jacob Alexander to deliver a threatening set piece. Bentleigh left back. Very impressive taker of the dead ball. And indeed, it is Jacob Alexander over this one. Into the danger zone. Webster was up. Couldn't direct his header with any particular purchase on it, and Gifkins will send it long for Albano. Doesn't make it to John Albano. Webster cleaning up for Lambatarides, and Feel he won't go all the way back to Ryan Scott between the sticks. Knights content to sit and not expose themselves too much with a high press. Nakamura for Holmes. Exidias. Holmes finds the chest of Nakamura. Corey Stool steps in. But again, the Bentleigh Greens win it back and are able to keep this attack alive. Holmes. And, plenty of pressure from Calvin Whitney, and here's John Albano. Offley on the right. He's got Hamish Watson in the middle. He was aiming for Watson at the back post, but too much on the cross. Harmlessly out for a goal kick. That's just a hint of the ever-present threat that the Knights hold. They can defend for 70% of the game and go forward and attack lethally. Referee not happy with the goal kick. We'll get a retake. Of course, the new IFAB regulations coming in from next season in NPL. Goal kicks will not have to leave the penalty area. You can already see that in action at the Women's World Cup. Long ball from Webster. Can't find one of Steins. Moving back the second ball. Holmes for Nakamura now on the right. Sizing up Corey Sewell. He goes outside, looking for the deep cross to the back post. It's the debutant Daniel Steins to keep it alive. Standing up his fullback. Taking on Glavan is Steins. He's done well here. Steins dangerously across the area. Aiden Bryce behind for a corner. And Aiden Bryce has come up with several important interventions for the Melbourne Knights so far in the centre of that defence. In from Alexander, it was Webster. It could go anywhere. Gifkins called into action. It's back to Alexander, looking to get it on his left foot again. Well defended from, I think it was Hamish Watson back there. And it is Watson to clear it up the line for John Albano to chase. Albano one-on-one. Couldn't ever get control of the ball. And the keeper's under pressure here. Ryan Scott playing a risky game, taking a long time on the ball. He's gotten away with it. Thurtell. Franich will clear into the stratosphere. Offley's header. To no one in particular. Bentleigh Greens have a chance to calm things down, but Ryan Scott almost caught napping there. Been an embarrassing moment for one of the competition's best goalkeepers. Here's Nakamura in behind. Thurtell's in there. Well positioned by Jordan Gifkins. Takes the save comfortably. Not afraid to mix it up. John Gabrielson's side. So often the short passing, working it out from the back, but if they see a long option down the line, they will take it. Whitney. For Sewell. For Mikulic. Mikulic not too involved in the game so far. Here's Whitney again. Franich under pressure from Steins. Did well. Here's Glavan. Whitney again. Albano. Glavan. He was trying to find Offley. The pass was too square. And here's Watson with a shot on goal. And that is not far away. Out of almost nothing, Hamish Watson. He is feeling it right now. Hat-trick on Wednesday night. prolific scoring form so far this season, and the Kiwi front man flashes one across the face of goal. Another scare for the home side. Thurtell's up for this one. Aidan Bryce always favoured for the high ball. Now here's Duzel. Intended for Watson, a little too far, and Webster back to Scott to clear. Bryce with a powerful header. Comes straight back. Here's Tyson Holmes. Nakamura wants it. Nakamura gets it. Just didn't quite reel it in with his first touch. That's out for a throw. Missed opportunity to counter-attack for the Bentleigh Greens. They won't get too many of those tonight. Yankovic. Webster. Exidias. Lambertaridis. Yankovic. Jacob Alexander stepping inside. Giselle well positioned to cut it out. Here's Offley for Mikulic. In fact, Watson takes over. Watson turning his marker. Trying to chip it out wide for John Albino, who wasn't quite up with the play. Back with Corey Sewell now, and Nakamura picks his pocket. Intense duel with Sewell and Nakamura, and the referee blows for a free kick. Sewell a little overzealous there. Yankovic. Lambertaridis wants it. His central midfielder drifting out wide. Poor touch from Futa Nakamura. Albano, two players on him. Mikulic has done well to keep that in play. Here's Sewell. Yankovic clears for Steins. Steins first time to Holmes. Looking for the return, Daniel Steins. Oh, and that's a careless pass. Duzel. Watson just didn't get a shout from his teammates there, and Jack Webster will come away with the ball. Here's Lambertaridis. Numbers in the box for the Bentleigh Greens. How's the delivery from Nakamura? In with his left foot to the back post. Away by Glavan. Holmes with the second ball. Still the Bentleigh Greens apply pressure without really being able to muster too many shots on goal. Tonight's defence holding firm, or at least firm enough so far. Here's Daniel Steins, battling with Duzel. Duzel comes out on top. Calvin Whitney will take over. Albano. Glavan. Straight out for a throw-in. Couldn't find the feet of Attila Offley. Exidias for Nakamura. Lovely one-touch play here from Bentleigh. Nakamura couldn't find the gap. Aiden Bryce for the Knights. Mikulic. Offley. Offley leaves it for Glover. Referee calling a free kick. A few discussions going on. Seems pretty jovial between Hamish Watson and Mario Ilic. Holmes with a lovely turn. Holmes finds Exidias. Exidias stepping inside. Back to Holmes. Little nutmeg there. Keeping it alive, but it's taking a little too long, and it gives the Knights defence a chance to reorganise. Last touch off the Knights. Here's Nakamura. Nakamura being held, surely. Bit of a flashpoint between Mikulic and Nakamura off the ball now. Nevertheless, play continues with Webster. Bryce stepping in, great win there. Albano coming forward, trying to find Watson. Watson didn't need to be offside there, wasn't looking across the line. Frustration for the Melbourne Knights. Huge opportunity going begging. Again, it all starts with that ball-winning ability of Aiden Bryce, who's been a brick wall so far there at centre-back. Sewell's throw. One for Hamish Watson. Watson can't keep it under control. Seems to be pretty free movement between these three attacking midfield players. At least Albano and Caleb Mikulic are interchanging positions. Jankovic. Ilic. Sewell with another win. Mikulic trying to pick out Hamish Watson. Just couldn't quite reel it in with Ryan Scott bearing down on him. Huge opening. Hamish Watson potentially through one-on-one there. Thurtell. Bryce steps in front again. Bryce will continue his run. Interchanging passes with Mikulic. What a game Aiden Bryce is having, at least so far. Quite a crowd assembled here at Kingston Heath on the grandstand side. Watson playing the hold-up role, trying a audacious back heel. Wasn't quite on the same wavelength as Caleb Mikulic. One for Glavan to chase down. Does so. Bryce. Ilic. Ilic looking for Exidias. Exidias running straight into Sewell. Referee says he blocked him off. Assistant was flagging on the near side. The Knights bench not happy about that decision. They're saying Corey Sewell merely held his ground. Referee doesn't agree. Jacob Alexander with the set piece again. Does favour the left foot. Though surely too far out for him to go for goal. He does centre it. Sewell's header. Gifkins dominating his area. Offley's header. Turned over. Steins backwards. It's Tyson Holmes. Watson with determined closing down. Picking their moments, the Melbourne Knights. Offley was harrying, but he didn't have his midfield joining in, and now there's some open pastures for Mario Ilic. Now it's Daniel Steins. Ixidias. Past Mikulic. Excellent shielding from Whitney, but still the attack goes on. Nakamura. Holmes. Holmes ran out of room. Watson going down under the challenge. No free kick. Knights fans are furious. Whitney gets it out of the danger zone and up for Attila Offley. Offley has numbers in support now. Finds Glavon on the overlap. Not quite, but they'll win the throw-in. Not the greatest vantage point here at Kingston Heath. Do apologise for the pylon in the way. Not too many options. Holmes. Ixidias. Nakamura. Trying to play the killer ball for Thurtell. Bryce was equal to it. Here's Sewell. Bryce finds Whitney. Excellent pressure from Tyson Holmes, and Thurtell might have an opportunity here. Covered well at the back by Joseph Franjic. Joseph, the brother of Socceroo Ivan Franjic. Storied sporting family. Capable of playing across the back line, in midfield. Corner into the back post. It's Bryce who hacks it into the air. It's Webster's header initially. Another threatening moment. Bit of chaos from those set pieces. Offley using his body. Xidias's header. Finds Webster. Wants a free kick. Doesn't get it. Here's Duzel. Sewell. Watson not happy with the service from Corey Sewell. Needs to be fired into his feet if it's going to get there. Now Albano for Caleb Mikulic. Trying to play in the return again. The ideas are there for the Knights, but the connections fizzle out too often. Ilic. Lambertaridis. Jankovic. Webster. Words of encouragement for the stands. From the stands for the Bentleigh Greens captain. Though the Knights away support are out in force tonight. Why wouldn't they be after a win like Wednesday? Here's Nakamura, Exidias. Exidias overlapping across the danger area. Away by Franic. And then Bryce. Nakamura again. Exidias wrestling with his opposite number. Miklic winning the ball fairly, says the referee. Away comes Albano. Oh, Watson is offside. Can't be involved. Albano goes himself. Albano taking on two. Superb run from Albano. Is there support at the end of it from his teammates? Miklic. Miklic to the back post. Hoffley was offside. Didn't get involved. Duzel. Franic. Miklic. Wins the throw off James Exidias, former Melbourne Victory youngster. Sewell into Watson. Webster thinks the throw is his. Referee doesn't agree. Corey Sewell has become something of a cult figure at the Knights this season after arriving from Bentleigh. The Marouane Fellaini-esque hair certainly helps. That's careless from Caleb Miklic. An offside that simply didn't need to occur. Dangerous ball for Tyson Holmes. Gifkins was off his line. Webster steps in and wins it. Nakamura. Nakamura with a delicate ball for Jack Webster of all people, the centre back. Up with the attack. Back with Nakamura now. Onto the left foot, into the area for Thurtell. Franic heads behind for a corner. Hamish Watson back to win the header. Away by Whitney. Hoffley going down. Referee letting the play flow. Here's Lambertaridis. Gets it under his spell. Lambertaridis for Thurtell. No flag, but Jordan Gifkins was off his line quickly, aware of the danger. Knights want a free kick for a push. Play goes on. Thurtell runs onto his own pass. Deflected by Glavan. He's prone on the turf, but enough to direct it back to the Knights goalkeeper and snuff out the danger. Gifkins long. Jankovic. Bit of kick to kick. Franic shanks it out for a throw in. Bryce up for the header. Jankovic exchanging passes with Alexander. Vertel. Steins. Out for a throw. Duzel. The Knights will be reasonably content with the scoreline so far. Sul. Mikulic. Mikulic trying to get past Ixidias, who did just enough. Nakamura supporting his fullback. Ilic. Strides forward. Here's Daniel Steins. Steins to have a crack on goal. It was Franish with the block. Ilic. Holmes. Mikulic. Watson. Watson had his shirt pulled. Fans want a card. Watson didn't seem too bothered. Alexander's header for Steins, making his debut today. Ilic. At least his starting debut anyhow. Glavan. Glavan with an excellent challenge, but ball goes straight back to the home side. Ilic. Bentleigh staying patient for the time being. Though you imagine the longer they wait for the breakthrough, the more direct more direct approach they'll adopt. Webster joining the attack again. Taking on Whitney. Contested ball, Knights throw. Webster giving the linesman a piece of his mind. Green's captain is fired up tonight. Sewell's throw. Watson backing down. Webster with the intervention. Great physical battle between those two. Nakamura. Ixidias on the overlap. Bryce lets his keeper have it. Yankovic's header. Watson chasing it down. Scott not taking a touch after the incident earlier in the half. And the Knights have a set piece. Now this is an opportunity. And Aiden Bryce will make his way up from the back. Sewell, the left back, shaping to take it. Also got the likes of Hamish Watson in there. Watson is the target. Ryan Scott claiming comfortably. Yankovic. Webster. Webster trying to find Holmes. Wasn't enough on it. Whitney for Sewell. Tackle from Nakamura. Knights will retain the possession. Sewell. Looking for Watson, but Sewell and Watson not exactly on the same wavelength this evening. Chilly 1-2 here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Grazia chant going up amongst the Knights supporters as long searching ball from Webster finds Jacob Alexander. Glavan battling for it. Alexander tries to cut it back. Body's on the ground. Might break for Steins. Referee spots an infringement. Free kick will go the way of the Knights. Had a couple of exciting contests last night in NPL Victoria. So Watson wins the header. Zidias will clean up. And the pressure from Miklic goes back to Scott. Dandenong City claimed a 2-2 draw with Green Gully, despite being down to 10 men for nearly an hour, with James Kelly seeing red after he scored the Dandenong club's second goal. But Green Gully had the chance to take all three with a stoppage time penalty. Alex Salmon skying his effort well over the crossbar. In the other fixture, Oakley Cannons defeated Kingston City. A spectacular late goal from Wade Decker. Holmes, flag is up on the near side. Holmes showing his frustration. Huge result for the Oakley Cannons. Harry White scoring twice before Oakley gave up 2 goals in just 2 minutes. Legrand and Stroza in the 81st and 83rd minutes, but former Melbourne City attacker Wade Decker was on hand to curl one home beautifully in the 91st minute and take all 3 points for the relegation-threatened Oakley Cannons. And that's a big challenge from Joseph Franjic, and it's a straight red. The Knights captain sent off in the first half. A studs-up challenge in midfield. The referee felt he had no choice. Huge blow for the Melbourne Knights here. They've been defending so well. Now they'll have to reorganise the back line entirely with the loss of their captain. Let us know what you thought of that decision in the Facebook Live comments. Seemed the needless tackle to make. It was a poor goal kick which led to the incident. Just having a look on the replay here, and was studs showing on the shin. Perhaps could have gone either way, yellow or red. Referee opted to take drastic action. Here's Alexander. Looks as if Calvin Whitney has dropped into central defence. As Webster has a shot from range, deflected. Gifkins gets under it. John Albano dropping into a deeper midfield role. 4-4-1 for the Knights. Will they think about a substitution before half-time? Just over 3 minutes to go, plus stoppages in this first half. Lambatarides turns. Bentleigh Greens will have an extra man in midfield now as Illich tries to find Thurtell. Holmes finds Nakamura. Not an ideal first touch, and gives Sewell the opportunity to block the cross. In the end, Bentleigh Greens can't even find a corner out of the situation. Oh, and he's through on goal here. Lambatarides could be 1-0. It is. No flag. And George Lambatarides makes the breakthrough.
Georgie Lambatarides.
Almost out of nothing for the Bentleigh Greens. The Knights switched off the back just for a moment, and George Lambatarides rounded Jordan Gifkins, slotting it into the empty net. 1-0 to the home side. And Melbourne Knights now have a mountain to climb. Down to 10 men, down a goal, away at Kingston Heath. A real headache at half-time for Marijan Cvitkovic. Sul. Mikulic. Easy Zidias. Can the Greens double their advantage before the break? Daniel Steins sizes up Nick Lavan, goes outside him across the danger area, and that was a crucial touch from Jordan Gifkins. With his trailing arm too. Great work from the goalkeeper to see that one away from a corner. Just 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half as the board goes up. Exidius is running short for this one. Drawing Albano with him. Alexander goes the more traditional route. Away by Bryce. Bentleigh appeal for a penalty. Bryce clears. Referee happy to play advantage for a prior infringement. Here's John Albano. Check back inside when he had Hamish Watson at the back post. Exidias covering superbly well. He's got bags of pace. Here's Nakamura. Nakamura had a handful of Corey Sewell's shirt. Play goes on. Watson turns between two defenders. Excellent work from Hamish Watson. He strikes on goal. Cross-come shot. Across the face of the danger area. Mikulic to keep it in. Can the Knights respond? Down a man. Here's Anthony Duzel. Too much on the cross, and that will do it for the first half here at Kingston Heath.
Ladies and gentlemen, half-time score. Bentleigh Greens 1, Melbourne Knights 0. Remember, folks, next week, round 18 away.
Not much to report until that flashpoint with Knights captain Joseph Franjic sent off for a studs-up challenge. The Knights will have to go in and recoup. They conceded a goal virtually straight afterwards through George Lambatarides, who rounded Jordan Gifkins, slid it into the empty net. 1-0 to the Bentleigh Greens at half-time here at Kingston Heath. I'm Josh Parrish. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the NPL Victoria live stream here for the second half of Bentleigh Greens v Melbourne Knights at Kingston Heath. If you're just joining us, it's 1-0 to the Bentleigh Greens at the break. George Lambatarides with the breakthrough after a red card to Knights captain Joseph Franjic. And it looks as if they will make a change at half-time. Ivan Grigic, the man lining up to come on. Scored an important goal last time out against South Melbourne, the old arch enemy, in the FFA Cup. Looks as if Ivan Grigic will fill that central defensive role. Attila Offley, the man to make way. Sacrificing an attacker for a defender, but the Knights do have to chase a one-goal deficit. It's a balancing act for Marijan Svitkovic at the moment. No changes for Bentleigh at the break. Webster striding forward. Here's Exidias. As Illich central, instead he goes back to Jack Webster. Switch the point of attack through Marko Jankovic. Lambatarides the goal scorer. Holmes. Looking for the feet of Nakamura, gets it back. Good sliding challenge from Duzel, and Knights will try and come away, although Hamish Watson just about keeping hold of it, but the through ball has too much on it for John Albano to realistically chase down. Illich. Looking for Holmes. Exidias. Through for Nakamura. Can he keep it in? He cuts it back. Superb sliding challenge from Calvin Whitney. It's across the box for Exidias. It's Holmes with the header. Comfortable take in the end for Jordan Gifkins. Jankovic's header. Bryce's header. Wearing the captain's armband this half. After Franjic was dismissed for a studs-up challenge in the first. Jankovic. Huge switching ball out to Nakamura. In fact, it's Exidias to keep it in with the head. Nice one-touch play with Futa Nakamura. Nakamura looking for Tyson Holmes. Dangerous situation. The Knights get it clear for now. Nakamura again. Holmes. Illich. Holmes. Patient play by the Bentleigh Greens. Here's Exidias, steps inside Corey Sewell. Bryce making the interception. John Albano fouled. Now Albano is in some discomfort here. Perhaps just winded. Medical team being called off the bench. Well, I say team. Just the one for the travelling team. Aidan Bryce signalling that it is a rib injury, or at least in his midriff. Hopefully, for Albano's sake, no broken bones involved. Definitely seems winded. Albano still feeling his rib cage. The Knights have already used one of their substitutes, of course. Ivan Grigic coming on. Usually a midfield player, but filling in central defence. Still in reserve, they have AJ Inya, Felipe Sanchez and Lachlan Campbell, with Thomas Scoff, the backup goalkeeper. The Knights temporarily down to 9. Jankovic, Holmes, Thurtell. Holmes keeps it away from Mikulic, who's looked frustrated on occasion this evening. So the Knights will have to lock in. Albano allowed back on the field, and some pressure on Alexander. Still struggling, Albano. Be a huge blow. They do have highly rated youngster Felipe Sanchez, who could come on in his stead. Big raps on that young man from the under-20 side. As we see the rested Nikola Jurkovic and the injured Harry Shakarun joining the Knights fans here in the grandstand. Late tackle from Whitney. Illich certainly made his displeasure known. Bentleigh have another set piece. As always, Jacob Alexander, the left back, tasked with dead ball duties. Swung in. Sewell and Thurtell were up. Last touch off Thurtell. Out for a goal kick. Notice Marko Jankovic, the towering frame of the Bentleigh Green centre-back, was free at the back post. If the delivery could have found him. Difficult, especially off those set-piece scenarios when you're short-handed, as the Knights are in this half. Holmes striding forward, such ease on the ball. Little no-look pass to Alexander. Late tackle again from Whitney, and he's just asking to be put in the book now. And the referee does produce the yellow ticket after 2 fouls in less than 2 minutes for Calvin Whitley. The last thing the Melbourne Knights need is to lose another core member of the starting team. Alexander's ball, it's Jankovic. Away by Whitney. Holmes will start again. Aiden Bryce up for the header. Gets in front of Jankovic. It's Mikulic. Sewell. Finds Hamish Watson. That's a nice juggle. It was the spectacular idea from the Kiwi front man. Didn't quite come off. Jankovic read it well. Steins. Trying to pick out Tyson Holmes in the gap, but instead it's Ivan Grigic who strides forward with the ball for the Knights. Back to Sewell. Again, the long option. And it'll be a challenge for the Melbourne Knights to get out of their half with 10 players. Let alone bridge that deficit, but this group have shown a lot of resilience and collective strength these past few weeks. Albano not happy with the service from Duzel. Now Now it's Nakamura. Holmes. Back with Tyson Holmes. Illich. Alexander. Illich has acres ahead of him. Strides forward to commit a play. Here's Thurtell getting involved. Now with Exidias. Down the line for Nakamura. Cut back. Lambertarides is free. It's 2. 2 for the Bentleigh Greens and 2 for that man, George Lambertarides.
Scorer in the 55th minute, Georgie Lambertarides for Bentleigh Greens.
A goal so well constructed, so fluid in its creation. Exidius finding Nakamura, getting to the byline, cutting it back for the open man, George Lambertarides, who finished so calmly, so confidently, first time into the bottom left corner. And if the Knights had a mountain to climb at halftime, well, that task has got all the more difficult now. Long ball looking for Caleb Mikulic. Knights looking to respond immediately. Jankovic is in the 6-yard box. Hamish Watson wasn't. Duzel. Albano. Back with Duzel. Grigic finding Watson. Watson turning Alexander. He has a crack on goal. Never enough power to trouble Ryan Scott. Webster. Long diagonal looking for Daniel Steins. It's a little bit of confusion between Gifkins and Glavan, but they clear the ball eventually. As John Gabrielson plays ball boy, taking the opportunity to deliver a few instructions to his left winger Daniel Steins in the process. Alexander's throw. It was Jankovic's header coming all the way up from the back for the long throw. Cleared as far as Jacob Alexander and back to Illich. Not sure of the possession count in this game, but would be fairly one-sided at this point. Illich. Webster. Webster finding the feet of Thurtell. And it's a shot on goal. It's just wide. So close for Daniel Steins, looking for his first goal in a Bentleigh green shirt. And now the Knights will ring the changes. And it is the young talent. We will get a glimpse of Felipe Sanchez, number 16. Highly gifted young player. I believe it's AJ Inya, the other player to come on in a double change. And Duzel is withdrawn. Some applause from the Knights travelling fans. Very disappointed with the state of play, of course. And Felipe Sanchez takes Duzel's place in the centre of the park, and it's John Albano also to make way for AJ Inya. Albano copping that knock to the ribs early in this half and was struggling ever since. And that's all three changes for the Knights. Grigic, Sanchez, Inya. Bentleigh Green yet to make a sub. And Watson running off the last defender. The flag's up. It was close. But the linesman not hesitating in raising his flag. Illich. Steins. Cuts inside Inya. Illich. Looking for Holmes. Holmes for Exidias. Illich. One touch play for Lambertarides. It's Felipe Sanchez putting some pressure on. A cheer goes up from the Knights faithful for the product of their youth system, making a rare foray into the first team. Sanchez. So small in stature. Referee happy to play advantage. I think they would have preferred the free kick. The Knights instead Bentleigh Greens come the other way. Illich. Exidias. Nakamura out wide. Can he get another assist? He fires it across goal. Only finds side netting. Deflection on the way and it'll be a corner. See John Gabrielson giving a encouraging team talk to one of these substitutes. Corner straight into the arms of grateful Jordan Gifkins, who looks to get things going quickly through Aiden Bryce. Bryce needs an option here. He has to go backwards. Here's Glovan. Whitney. Gets it back from Sewell. Whitney looks for Mikulich. Can he bring it under his spell? He does. Beautiful first touch. Not a bad second one either. And here is Felipe Sanchez. You can almost tell what kind of a player he is just by looking at him. Be a demanding step up into the physicality of senior men's football for young Felipe Sanchez, but by all accounts, he certainly has the creativity and technical ability to make it work. Aiden Bryce looking for Inya. Inya lets it run. Sewell. Sewell steps past Nakamura. Trying to create space. It's lofted to the back post. Knights appeal for a penalty. Hamish Watson felt he was dragged down inside the box there. Referee not too interested. Awards the corner. Sewell's corner. Into the back post. Watson! Oh, it had to be. But it wasn't for Hamish Watson. A free header. And he'll be kicking himself. Straight at Ryan Scott. Whitney. Glover. Knights win the throw. Bentleigh want to change. The board will go up for Velibor Mitrovic, usually a starter in this side. It looks as if it's Matt Thurtell to make way. Hasn't been too involved today. Put in a shift up front regardless. Bit of a reshuffle of the forward line for the Bentleigh Greens. Mitrovic in his favoured left-sided position. Looks like Nakamura for the time being will go all the way up front as Watson loses out. Daniel Steins switching to the right flank. Chipped over the top from Bryce, looking for Mikulic. Good cover from Jankovic. Blocked in the corner, but they work it out well through Mitrovic and Alexander. Webster. Exidias. Sewell's tackle. Whitney. Checking back. Looking for AJ Inya. Ooh, fancy footwork from Inya. That's a brilliant dribble. He's taken on two. Fouled from behind, surely. That'll be a free kick. The Knights want more. The Knights want a card. The referee does go to his pocket and produce the yellow card for Daniel Steins. The Knights bench placated for now. It's in shooting range for Caleb Mikulic and Hamish Watson, the two players standing over the dead ball. It will be Caleb Mikulic. Strike on goal, that's disappointing. Lofted high over the crossbar. As Ryan Scott takes the goal kick short for Marko Jankovic. Alexander. Finding the substitute on the run, Velibor Mitrovic. Shifts it to his left foot. Easy take for Gifkins. We'll start from Inya again, whose brilliant dribbling skills led to that set-piece opportunity for the Melbourne Knights. Certainly produced some energy and creativity off the bench so far.
Made in the 63rd minute by Bentleigh Greens. Matt Thurtell came off, number 18. Coming on was Velibor Mitrovic, number 23.
It's confirmation of that last change for the Bentleigh Greens. As Alexander wins out, and you can just see how spent, how disheartened Caleb Mikulic is at the moment. After the highs of Wednesday night, back down to earth in the bread and butter of the league competition. The Knights are in a deep hole here at Kingston Heath. 2-0 down. Their captain down. And the coach can have no further impact on proceedings with all three substitutes deployed. Illich. Holmes. And it must be frustrating playing against this Bentleigh Greens team who just keeps possession so well. Trying to press them with a man down would be ill-advised. Watson losing out to Mario Illich. Alexander finding Mitrovic. Alexander wants it on the overlap. Instead it's back with Tyson Holmes. Lambadarides was making a run. He's on a hat-trick. Illich turns. So much space for that third Bentleigh Greens central midfield player, with the Knights having to sacrifice at the break. Lambadarides. Alexander. Illich looking for that gap. Bryce was alive to it, and now Whitney plays it straight forward for Hamish Watson, but he's always in a 2-on-1 scenario. It's not beyond the skills of Hamish Watson to work that out to his advantage, but It's not the kind of service that strikers rely upon. Holmes. Poor pass from Holmes. Glavin takes over. He's Whitney. Aiden Bryce looking for an option. He's been caught on the ball, Aiden Bryce, but he wins it back at the second attempt. He can hold his head up high for his performance this evening. Illich. A few games that kicked off 25 or so minutes ago around the rest of the top flight here in Victoria. Altona Magic at home to Dandenong Thunder. Scoreless in that one. In fact, scoreless in all the other games so far. Heidelberg United playing against Hume City at the Village, and Port Melbourne face Pascoe Vale. Illich. Keep you updated with any live scores from those games. Here's Mitrovic. Substitute being prepared for the Bentleigh Greens. There has been a goal over at Altona with the away side Dandy Thunder taking the lead. Steins sees it out for a corner kick. Get confirmation of the goal scorer for you shortly, but that would be a huge turn up for the books if Dandy Thunder were able to snatch 3 points on the road. And it is tonight's hero, George Lambatarides, who makes way. 2 goals. A superb display from him. And John Gabrielson gives him a well-deserved rest. Josh Meeker, the man coming on in his stead. Poor corner kick, and Sewell clears. Grigic's header. Webster contesting. Webster's studs were showing, and the referee pays a free kick. Bryce.
Substitution for the Greens in the 72nd minute.
Here's Caleb Mikulic. Shoulder to shoulder, says the ref.
Joshua Meeker.
Josh Meeker taking over. It was Mitrovic with the challenge on Mikulic. Alexander for Meeker, the substitute, getting involved. Well defended again from Bryce. Bit of a nudge in the back on Calvin Whitley. Goes unpunished. Mitrovic goes over. Penalty kick. The Knights aren't happy about that one, and in all honesty, from our vantage point over here, it looked a unconvincing fall from Velibor Mitrovic, but the Bentleigh Greens have a penalty regardless. Have to see a closer replay. But it is Stein stepping up from 12 yards, and he buries it in the bottom corner. Jordan Gifkins went the right way, but the penalty was simply too well struck. Number 25, Daniel Steins, the goal scorer in his first start for the Bentleigh Greens. Handed penalty taking duties, and he dispatched with aplomb. 3-0 at Kingston Heath. Bryce. Glavin. AJ Inya making the most of a fall from James Exidias. The Knights bench still contesting the penalty decision. Still 0-0 at Olympic Village between Heidelberg and Hume. Also scoreless between Port Melbourne and Pascoe Vale after half an hour. Dandenong Thunder surprisingly up a 0-0 away to Altona Magic. Still don't have confirmation of the scorer, but that is a fantastic start for the Thunder. If you're just joining us, the Melbourne Knights are in a 3-0 hole. They kept it scoreless and really restricted the Greens' chances until the red card for Joseph Franich, which really seemed to begin the slide. Hard enough to come here and get a result at Kingston Heath against such an accomplished and successful side as the Bentleigh Greens are. Harder still with 10 men. And so it's proved tonight. Holmes under pressure from Sanchez. Out to Steins. Way too much on that one. Can Velibor Mitrovic reel it in? He can. Mika. Holmes wanted it to his feet. Instead it's with Illich. Steins back to Illich. Delicate chip ball over for Futa Nakamura. No one making the run, and Jordan Gifkins gathers easily. Sewell chesting it down. And a tackle from Steins, and it's out for a throw-in. And another substitution here for Bentleigh Greens. Matty Crooks, the man to come on. Defender who hails from the Northern Territory, if my research is correct. Coming off James Exidias. It seems a straight swap at right back. Crooks, number 2, taking up that right fullback role, which Exidias is performed in with a Blom. Very attack-minded. So many overlaps, so much energy. Stopped a couple of counter-attacks almost single-handedly this evening. Excellent display from James Exidias. Steins. Rolls it back to Illich. Now Alexander. Mika was making the run. Instead it's miscontrolled, rather, by Velibor Mitrovic, and Glavan has pressure at his back. Glavan does just enough. So does Aiden Bryce to get it away. But Mikulic can't win it from Jacob Alexander. Mikulic looks completely spent. Fatigue will be well and truly setting in for this short-handed Knights side. Not only with the 4-day turnaround, or 3-day I should say, from Wednesday night's intense FFA Cup tie. Huge win over South Melbourne, 4-2 in the end, but they've had a red card. And they've had to rest 2 important players in Jokovic and Mohamed Awad. Inya goes down under the challenge. Free kick for the Knights. Inya's made a positive impact since his introduction. Bryce. Here's Mika. Mika for Matty Crooks. Mitrovic. Alexander twisting and turning, looking for Mitrovic. Glavan with an excellent sliding challenge, but the flag was up on the far side for offside. I have goal updates to bring you from Olympic Village, where Heidelberg United have taken a lead against Hume City 1-0. And also from Port Melbourne, where a penalty for the home side has given them a 1-0 advantage over the visiting Pascoe Vale. Grigic with a important covering challenge on Mika, but Mika fetches it regardless, and Corey Sewell's been pulled up here for a trip. Knights players, especially Grigic, feeling he made the most of that contact. Certainly a foul. Plenty of football going on tonight, including NPL 2 action, and the NPL Victoria cameras will be at the Veneto Club in the late kickoff, 8:30. As Melbourne City take on Langwarrin. Free header for Glavan. Mika's head, away by Grigic. Crooks for Steins, for Illich. Webster's through on goal. The flag's up. The ball's in the net. It won't count. Webster just the wrong side of the last defender there, but pretty good finish for a centre-back. Crooks. Whitney. Back with Bryce now. Bryce pumps it up the line, and that's wayward, out of play. I think if you'd asked the Knights supporters if they'd trade a loss here for Wednesday's win over the old rival and a spot in the round of 32, they would have bitten your hand off. Still a disappointing evening for the Knights. Now it's the youngster Felipe Sanchez in possession. Checks back with Calvin Whitney. Whitney finds Sanchez. A little bit of one touch from Sanchez. Hopeful ball in towards Watson. It's Inya trying to pick up the scraps. Well defended by the Greens. Now Bryce stepping forward. He might have a crack on goal here. He will. The shot was on. Didn't quite get enough purchase on it to trouble Ryan Scott. Fans still in good voice despite the scoreline. The visiting fans, that is. As you can probably hear on the NPL Victoria live stream. Steins trying to get around Corey Sewell, can't do so. Grigic back to Sewell. And Dandenong Thunder are up 2 goals away to Altona Magic. Terrific first half from the Thunder. Don't have confirmation of the goal scorers yet, but the odds on that Brandon Barnes is amongst those. Sanchez with his hands all over Steins. Referee plays advantage. Holmes, play continues. Late tackle on Holmes. Sanchez gives away the free kick. Steins wants a little more. To be fair, it was Sanchez's first foul, even if he committed 2 in the same play. Alexander. Bryce. All the way through to Ryan Scott. Watson's been completely isolated for most of this game, especially most of this half. Is Nakamura. The referee gives a free kick to the Knights. Sewell. Looking for Sanchez. Pass couldn't find him, but some determined running. Nikolic closing down Jankovic. He goes square to Webster. Crooks. Illich. Green's happy to recycle possession. That's a loose touch from Illich in midfield. Glove on for Sanchez. Sanchez turns into trouble. Determined from Felipe Sanchez. Nice bench, wanted a free kick. And the yellow card goes to Nikolic. Much to the chagrin of the Knights away fans. Tensions have been running high ever since that first half red card. Seems to be boiling over a touch here. Crooks. Foul on Sanchez. Mika, the player, fouled. Holmes. Jankovic. Mitrovic. Dropping into a corridor. It's a careless pass from Illich, cut out by Corey Sewell. I think Corey Sewell was trying the shot from halfway there, spotting Ryan Scott off his line, but he just seemed to collect some of the turf as he was taking the shot. Mika hits the deck, play will go on. Advantage paid. Jacob Alexander. He's a left back who seems to spend more time in the attacking half, and so he goes in towards the front post. Easy take for Gifkins. Nikolic again cutting a frustrated figure. Mika, too quick for Aiden Bryce. Bryce will pick up the yellow card. No real complaints from the stand-in captain. Didn't seem to want the lecture that went with it. Bit of back and forth between the Knights away support and the linesmen. Apologise if the microphones are picking up any of that. Alexander, dangerous cross. Holmes. 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 Stewart getting involved now. Webster. Mika. Illich. The board goes up. How many added minutes will we see here? It's Mikulic battling with Alexander. He's Mitrovic. Alexander again. So much energy. That's a late challenge from Nick Glavan. Steins with the free kick. Oh, it's in dangerously. It's gone all the way in. The attempted cross from Daniel Steins. No touch on the way through, and it sailed all the way into the far corner. Cherry on top for Bentleigh Greens, 4-0. Stadium announcer saying Velibor Mitrovic was the goal scorer. I believe it was, in fact, Daniel Steins getting his second goal of the evening. And this one's gone sour for the Knights. Sewell still wants a consolation. Finds the feet of Felipe Sanchez. Nice little body feint. Sewell in dangerously for Watson. Webster won the header in the end. Steins coming back the other way through Matt Crooks. Jankovic. Illich. Steins. Crooks. Sewell wins a goal kick off Matt Crooks. And that will do it here at Kingston Heath. A comprehensive win for the home side. 2 goals from George Lambertarides, 2 goals from Daniel Steins, making his first ever start in a Bentleigh Greens jersey. It was 0-0 until Josip Franjic, the Knights captain, picked up a straight red card in the first half. And it was downhill from there on for the Melbourne Knights. I've been your matchday commentator, Josh Parrish, and you can catch me later tonight at the Veneto Club as I join Joey Lynch in NPL 2 as Melbourne City take on Lang Warren. But from me, it is goodbye for now.